Okay, let's pray to our deities. Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Gaur Nitai ki jai, Vaman Dev ki jai, Parashuram Bhagwan ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. Let's do the prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnana Janashalakaya Chakshurunmitam Mena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are doing chapter number 6, Dhyan Yoga, and we are in shlok number 46. So which is also coming to the end of chapter number 6. So chapter 6 have total 47 shlokas. We are in 46. So it is moreover summarizing the chapter number 6. So we'll see the shloka today. Tapasvebhyo yogi jnanabhyo pi matodika karmibhyasya chadiko yogi tasmat yogi bhav arjuna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fructive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. So far we have seen Krishna is talking about all the yogis, yogs, right? And so far we have seen Ashtanga Yoga. He was describing about the Ashtanga Yoga. And since this is the conclusion here, so it is we are summarizing about all different kind of yogis. All different kind of yogis and who is the best yogi. So what are the different kind of yogis if you have to recall from the previous classes? So we have seen different yogis, right? Or yoga. So before that, what is yoga? Yoga is actually linking our consciousness with Supreme Lord. So many people, think yoga means doing some exercise, getting up in morning 5 to 6, do some exercise, but that is not actual yoga, right? In our dharma, yoga means actually linking our consciousness with Supreme Lord. And after that, we have seen that there are different kind of yogis, correct? Karma yogi, jnana yogi, bhakti yogi. So broadly, 3 different yogis are mentioned. So we'll see. In this shloka, actually, Krishna is talking as summarizing all these yogis, and he is also telling which is the best yogi. And based on that, we have to actually go towards that. So if you see our complete Krishna consciousness, it's kind of a ladder system, right? This karma yogi, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, this is kind of a ladder system. And Krishna is very specifically mentioning about that ki bhakti yoga is the best. So, but is it possible ki we can directly get into bhakti yoga without doing karma yoga and jnana yoga? And last few shlokas we have seen about Ashtanga yoga also, right? Ashtanga yoga or dhyan yoga. So is it mandatory ki we first start always through karma yoga? So actually, see, if it is a ladder system, right? In schools also we first do KG, pre-KG, and then get into primary, secondary, and then college. So like that, here also, generally a devotee start from karma yoga. And but it is not necessary. Krishna is also mentioning, he is giving different path basically. So it is not necessary ki you have to always start from karma yoga. People, there are people who can, who are, directly practice bhakti yoga. So it depends on what stage you are. So, but the process is very simple. It is not that ki as you go in this ladder, karma yoga is little easier and jnana yoga is little tougher and bhakti yoga is very difficult. It is not like that. So, in Kali Yuga, Lord has provided us a very easy, actually bhakti yoga is very easy. So, but just recapping this karma yoga, so generally again there is a lot of confusion. The confusion is people generally who don't practice or study Bhagavad Gita, they always confuse that ki, what I'm doing some karma, and they consider that as karma yogi. They claim them as karma yogis, which is very wrong actually. So if you see what is karma yogi, when so if you see in this purport, when the linking process is predominantly in fructive activities, we always look for some results, right? So we do some activities. Suppose we go to job, we get a salary, and then with that salary we try to enjoy all the material activities. And people claim that ki, oh, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord has said ki, do your karma. So I am already doing my karma. And they claim that as karma yoga. So which is very wrong. So we have to understand this difference. Ki, there is a difference between karma and karma yoga. So karma is only you are doing some activities, and those fructive activities you try to enjoy yourself. But actually in karma yoga, people, Krishna has mentioned that ki, whatever you are doing, your regular activities, you link that with Krishna. You see whatever fruit you are, suppose you are doing your job, you are getting your salary. So some portion of it, you actually donate it, maybe in temple or some devotee seva, some kind of bhakti. Even at home, we purchase agarbatti, right? Agarbatti we purchase, then we purchase flower. So actually we are heading, actually, this is the initial step towards karma yoga. So that way we are actually linking ourselves with Krishna consciousness. So there is a difference between this karma and karma yoga. And similarly, if you see the Jnana yoga, what happens? In Jnana yoga, basically, in the purport it is mentioned, when it is predominantly empirical. Empirical means evidence-based. So if you see, especially this kind of scientists and all, they always look for some kind of logic, right? Evidence-based. So these jnanis do that. So this Jnana yoga is all about that. People acquire a lot of knowledge. People acquire a lot of knowledge and try to go towards moksha, right? So if you see a very great philosopher, Adi Shankaracharya, he gave primarily importance to Jnana yoga for the knowledge of absolute. So at the most, what will happen? You actually reach to Brahman. You will not reach to Supreme Lord if you practice Jnana yoga. So even if you see Adi Shankaracharya, at the end he has to practice Bhakti yoga to achieve Lord. So Jnana yogis basically acquire a lot of knowledge. We have also seen the Char Kumaras, they are also did the same initially, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Yogi is also referred as Buddhi Yoga, and its goal is self-realization again. And if you see in this Wikipedia, if you go through there, the text considers Gyan Marga as the most difficult, slow and confusing for those who prefer it because it deals with formless reality, which is also called as Avyakta. So they don't consider deity worshipping, right? So formless, anything, they just meditate. That is why they, at the most, they reach to Brahman stage, not towards Lord stage. But when it is predominantly in the devotional relationship with the Lord, it is called as Bhakti Yoga. So unless we do a devotional service and make a relation with the Supreme Lord, will not get into the stage of Bhakti Yoga. So if you ask whether doing Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, you cannot reach to Lord, but the answer is like with all this yogas, the ultimate stage is you to achieve Lord. You will definitely go towards that. But it depends, like generally what we are doing is we are into Karma Yogis, where we are trying to do the day-to-day activities and then trying to contribute that and make a relationship with Lord. And whereas this Bhakti Yoga is fully spiritual knowledge, right? So if you see the example of Dhruv Maharaj also, we have discussed this many times, right? So if you see Dhruv Maharaj, when he was very young age, he actually left everything, right? Why? Because his stepmother, she did not allow her to sit on his father's lap. She said, you are not eligible for that. First, you have to become eligible, you have to become my son. So Dhruv Maharaj, what he did, he actually take a vow that he will acquire a kingdom which is greater than his father. And he went to his mother and asked what I can do. That time she said, you go to actually go to forest, there you will find Lord. He will only give you endless kingdom. So he went there and he started actually doing a lot of tapasya to acquire bigger kingdom than his father. So if you see that his actual intention was to acquire that asset. But finally, what happened? Finally, at the end, when he was doing all those austerities to please Lord, then at the end, what happened when the Lord came in front of him? He actually, Lord asked him, what do you want? So instead of asking a bigger kingdom, he asked for bhakti only. He asked for Lord. So devotional process is that. So initially we start with bhakti karma yogi. We become a karma yogi, and then when you become a karma yogi, then you have lot of queries about Lord. So at that stage, you try to acquire the knowledge, you try to understand about Lord. In that process, actually you become Jnana Yogi, right? And those till Jnana Yogi, it is all theoretical, but actual practice is Bhakti Yogi. So once you acquire all those knowledge, you start worshipping the Lord. So as in material world also, if you see what this scientists and philosophers do. They acquire a lot of first knowledge and then they make it into practice by experimenting or doing something. So it is like that. So even if you start with Karma Yoga, Yogi stage, you become Jnana Yogi, gaining a lot of knowledge about Ved Shastras, and slowly through that, you actually gradually get into Bhakti Yogi. But it is not necessary that you have to start from Karma Yogi. Lord has also given us option where you can actually start doing Bhakti Yogi. So, but such people are like, very rare who initially, I mean, from the day one, they start doing Bhakti Yogi. If you take the example of Srila Prabhupada, right? He was such a personality. So generally we think, right, we acquire a lot of things and then we get frustrated, get into different stage or get towards the Jnana Yoga stage or Bhakti Yoga stage. So, but the pure devotee, he will, reject all of this and he will directly start practicing the Bhakti stage. So it is just like if you take a example of, if there is a building which have 100 floors, right? So it is not necessary. I mean, there are steps where you can first climb to first floor, second floor, and then go, ultimately reach your destination of 100th floor. You also have a elevator there, right? If you press the 100, you directly reach to the 100th floor. Similarly, in this Krishna consciousness also, you can directly get into Bhakti Yoga. So, to summarize this shloka, actually, Krishna is saying here, ki Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. It is better than tapasvi. People who do lot of austerities, they are called as tapasvis. So, but Bhakti Yoga is better than tapasvis, and it is also better than Jnana Yogis, and it is better than Karma Yogis. So, if you see in the ladder, so Karma Yogi comes first, then Jnana Yogi comes next, then all this tapasvi or Jnanis will come. Ashtang Yogs we have seen in previous shlokas, but the topmost is Bhakti Yoga. So that is how the 6th chapter Krishna is summarizing this, and in the last shloka, which we'll cover tomorrow, we'll conclude this. So thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Anything you want to discuss? We can discuss. Hare Krishna.